It won't help you allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Bitch, one of you was flat. Hey. My God. Canceled. Girl, let me show you. How canceled their show is. So they gave us 7 episodes, and one of them was 28 seconds. So they gave us 6 episodes, 6 heifersodes at between 26 and 23 minutes. Girl, their last episode was 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. In the middle of the episode, child, it was just like, you know what? "12 minutes? That's the best they could do for the last episode." Child, they got to talk about Sanya being on Shark Tank. It's Snooze in front of the camera and behind the mic, and Marlo ain't no help either. They got to talk about Shark Tank, and child, that was it. That was it. They didn't even sign off. It was an unceremonious cancellation. Their last episode was the 14th of December. Holiday break is over, heifer. We're about to be in spring. It's about to be February 1st. Who wanted to hear from Sanya? I don't know. The Lord. I feel like God wants to hear from all of her children. But we, the listening audience, however, that's a different story. We didn't want to hear Sanya, and now we won't. And now we won't, because we voted with our views, and the answer was no. And the answer was no. Did they even drop any tea? You got to have tea to drop it. And since they were dropped from Housewives of Atlanta, they wouldn't have any tea to drop. Oh, God, Jimmy said, I'd rather hear Drew's lies. Sanya let Marlo confuse her. I mean, was the show good? Not really. Now, I will say Cynthia and Crystal's podcast isn't about housewives. I'm not really enjoying it. But they are somewhat interesting if you could manage to care about their lives. They don't, I'll say this, they don't tell the worst stories. I just want them to talk about housewives. Maybe that's what it is. But I also listen to Nene and Sanya's, I listen to Nene and Sierra's podcast. Do you know why? Because I could, because they still have one, unlike Sanya and Marlo. I was going to listen to both. I couldn't even listen because their shit had ended. That show came and went like a fart. You've only heard me talk about them. They didn't talk about themselves. I am out here the best hype man ever. I am giving full free press and promo. Act like you don't know. Oh, God, Reasonably Shitty. Is that still on? Let's look. You know it is. You know it is. Reasonably Shady is still on. Actually, they're probably doing good. Yep. They're Black Effect and iHeart. They've got stars. Let's see. They just came out with their episode 2 days ago. Now, do I like their podcast? I guess you know what? This is Potter's Digest. If anybody, is I do listen to Two Teas in a Pod. And that's just because they will give tea. Two Teas in a Pod will give tea on the other white shows. Like they'll give a little Beverly Hills tea, they'll give a little OCT. I enjoy. I can't say I've recapped Reasonably Shady before. Oh, look who it is. Say hello. I've recapped Reasonably Shady before. It's not bad. And I think I may go back to recapping them now that we don't have Rob Dixon on our TV screens anymore. I need to get I enjoy making fun of Robin where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go over here since you're not on TV anymore because you're still making poor choices and I still need to talk about them. You can't stand the Green-Eyed Bandits. But let's talk about what happened on Nene's podcast. I forgot to get dish soap, sweetener for my coffee, milk, and pineapple. Damn. I'm lady forgetting shit. But Nene said that Nene lied and said she was the one that first said tardy for the party. No, ma'am. Me, Pepperidge Farm, and Bravo all remember that it was this old white man that said, I'll be tardy for the party, but you want to go. I'll be tardy for the party, but I don't have oh, don't be tardy for the party, because we... And he had that like very country twangy song. And then we watched Kandi twerk it, make it into don't be tardy for the party. Oh, don't be tardy for the party. So it was actually really cool to see it go from a country song to a pop song by a major hip hop artist that was in a girl group. Like it covered so many different gamuts of music. So, but Nene, that wasn't you. That wasn't you. Now, if somebody had done Keeping It Real with Nene, that was you. That was you. That was you. But Kandi turned that song out, honey. Let's see. Then they talk men. And oh, God, it was awful. Now, that's going to get their podcast canceled because y'all are so plastic. I don't want to think about you, how do I say this delicately? Leaking lubricant, shall we say. I don't want to think about you slipping out silicone. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about the men you date. Sierra said that Scooter had hips, and she didn't know he had John phone hips. Oh, shut up! People are trying to fucking record. Anyway, hips. So she would only sleep with him twice a month because she had to, but she was like, I could only, she could only muster her ladywood up twice a month. But now that she's with her new husband, she has sex 5 times a day. Then Nene said, well, break down how you had sex 5 times. Girl, nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear it. Y'all are 50, 60-year-old women. Y'all ain't got nothing to talk about but your twat. I'm sorry. After 60 years and y'all been on reality television, 20 each, I want to hear something more out of you than twat talk. I want to hear something different. Nene said none of the girls really fuck with her. She trying to do something with Kandi, though, about business. But it's really sad that they all, their lives changed. And now, she'll walk into a restaurant. She saw 2 of them and they didn't even speak. And that is sad. That is sad because I can only imagine the not bond, as we would say, but bund, as Nene would say, or Sierra Gates with that Atlanta pronunciation. They have a bond of being a celebrity, a bund of being housewife. How do you spell bund? Not a bond, but a bund. Is Nene still with that married man? Is Nene with that married man? Is Nene with that married man? Is Nene with that married man? Close your legs to married men. Ooh. Nene called Kandi. Nene did Kandi dirty and called her a rat. Joan Fawn. I'm just reading the comments. Yes, please, y'all, hit the like button. But we just them talking twat was not, it was not interesting. Now this, however, we say things that we can never live down. I'm sure I've said some things about myself that I can never live down. I'm sure. But Sierra said, does your man ask you to send you a picture of your coochie, of your cat? And is it growling for him? Nene said, is it what now? Is it growling? We taking it back to waiting exhale. Remember when Savannah was like, grr, grr, huh? Grr. Oh. Is it? Sierra, your pussy got that grr. Grr. Now, I may be a homosexual. I may not be that familiar with the divine feminine form. But last time I checked, they didn't growl. I ain't never heard of a growl. Oh, God. Honey, I think you just hungry. That's your stomach. A stomach growls, a pussy don't growl. Nene said no. Oh my God. He even said, I don't want to hear about no geriatric humping. And neither do I. I mean, you can be sexy after 60. Ain't nobody saying you can't. But we're not coming to you for that. Our elders, our aunties. We're not. And also, y'all are so frozen, it's unsexy. It's really unsexy. Let's see. They talk about hunching in bonnets versus not hunching in bonnets. One of their men don't like their hair, so they have sex in bonnets. And I'm like, skirt. What heterosexual man doesn't like hair? Like, I can maybe get coochie hair, but she talk about like head hair. He likes it when she has a bonnet. She said he a neat freak. I'm like, women have hair. Like, I that blew my mind. I'm like, are you sure he's heterosexual? He don't like hair. That, ooh. You like Sierra's cooking show. You know why I will watch Sierra's cooking show. I will give it a shot. I would give one of her recipes a shot. I trust a good Southern recipe. I love a good Southern recipe. My issue with Sierra, it also goes back to the frozen face. If you cannot emote, if I cannot think of you making an expression other than the one that has been frozen on your face, I can't see you thinking, oh, I can't see you making an expression of, oh, that looks good. Like, or that tastes good, rather. Like, I need to, like, you've got to have a, ooh, it's so good face. Like, Oh, that's amazing. Like when you see me eat, I emote with my face where you can tell, oh, that's a good shrimp. That's a good shrimp. He is eating with all of his emotions. There's no expression. So it's like, oh, this tastes so good. It's like everything you deliver is that bland. So I feel like your food would be bland too. They have really long hair. It may get in the way. Oh, I never thought about that. This is my gay. Never thought about it like that. Never thought it could get in the way. Because I thought you would enjoy like the smelling of the perfumed hair. And like I don't, again, I'm not with women, so I don't think of these things. Oh Lord. I was just shocked. That's why I run things by people. That's why I say, what do y'all think? Because that never occurred to me. But yeah, that hair is long. That hair is long. Sierra has fun guests on her cooking show, the one with Cash Doll. Cash Doll, okay. I have 2 issues with Cash Doll. Well, 3. 3 issues. One, her performance at the BET Awards when she did these ninjas for everybody. Why would you pick such a low energy song for that moment? I mean, she thought she ate, she thought she chewed, she thought she swallowed and digested. Baby, that is in my mind as the most boring performance I have ever seen live. Like whenever I want to show somebody how not to do it, I show them that. I show them that. That is my depiction of public failure. That was abominable. That cemented your C-list status. Sometimes something can take you to the top. That cemented you
In the middle.
in the middle. You missed. Thank God you missed it. Thank God. It was a performance that truly turned you off. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was so amateur. It was just so amateurish, and it was not the moment. It was a moment to elevate, and you gave us just nothing. Nothing. And so I wish that she had just chosen a different song and had the moment she deserved. Because I wish her well. I wish her well. But I got to be honest, and that's from the heart. I was disappointed in that performance. I wanted to be a fan, and I couldn't. I couldn't. The second issue I have with her is her boots. She always has to wear a boot that peels like an orange. And I don't think it's fashion. I think it makes you look foolish and foolhardy, and I want it to stop. I don't want you to look like an origami swan on stage. Like it makes you walk weird. And I know you think you doing it. You think ooh, I'm so original. There's a reason nobody's wearing that shit. Because it's ugly. It's ugly as all hell. It's all hell. Oh, and that's the thing. I didn't say she was a horrible person, but that performance, babe, watch that performance of these ninjas. I remember the song too. And I was like, really? I think it was during the Panini. I think it was during the Panini. And it was just, I see why she's never been back. I'll see if I can look them up. I love that we just talk about the most random things sometimes. Oh my God. Okay. We've got housewives tomorrow. These I found them. We've got housewives tomorrow. The trailer drops, and Chris and I will be covering it. We're gonna have a pop roast tomorrow. We'll know what time when the show actually comes out. Hold on. Let's see. During the Ponder replay, give her grace. That time was hectic. Okay, hold on. It is. It's these. It's those. You wish Roa the best. Yeah, these were $5,000. Manolo Blahnik, and they folded. Yes, here. Oh, God. This. Do you see? Do you see? I am sorry, but no. That's not Manolo. That's Manono. It's a no-no. Can Nene even breathe with that new nose? That's a good question. The same question she asked to Dwight, we now ask about her. Sunrise, sunset. Sunrise, sunset. Let's see. Did Nene say anything else of note on that podcast? Oh, now this is she talked a lot about Brent and his surgery journey. And she says that she thinks what happened to Brent's heart is that perhaps he caught an asymptomatic case of COVID that did cardiovascular damage, because she said he was a healthy kid with a healthy heart up until he was 23. And she said he was outside during COVID time, but he said he never got it. But she said they tested him for everything. And that's the only thing that she could think of why his heart just went kaput at 23, which is, really sad. But he's doing much better now. He got a transplant and it's wonderful. They are living and thriving, and we are very happy for them as a family. But Nene went through she talked about it, and it was some real tough times for that. But I will say it also sounded like, to my ear, Brent got it from a broken heart. Like when he got it, she said it happened right after Greg passed. While he was processing it, this is what happened. And we've heard of people that have experienced a loss and it hurts them so much it takes a physical toll. I totally believe that could have happened. With the timing of all, it was incredible. Because I didn't know it was right after Greg passed, but apparently it was right after Greg passed that his heart was just like, nope. And then it seemed like it was working again, and then it wasn't, and they were able to get him a new heart very quickly, thank goodness. So I am happy for Nene in that regard, and that is also why she moved in to the Waldorf Astoria building, because he wanted to move into a building next door, because he wanted to move out of their house. This is when Greg was still with us. Nene did not mention her other son and the legal issues, and I can get why. He's dealing with fentanyl issues, and that's one hell of a drug. That is awful. So I pray for her. I pray for all of them for that. Nobody deserves fentanyl. Nobody deserves what that does to your life, and what it does to your life when you love someone that is dealing with it. No one deserves that. It's a new kind of hell. Yeah. Anyone want to shimmy on in though and talk about these other housewives podcasts, because I want a vote on who is next to bite the dust and who is actually relevant. Because I hate to say it, but them white heifers, They stick in their lane, but they found a way to, as Aaron says, they talk about housewives like sports, where it's interesting. And then you have the Jeff Lewis of it all, the me of it all, the up and Adam of it all, where we are at this juncture moving forward plot lines of the show. And without these podcasts, like without Jeff Lewis, they wouldn't have been able to talk about it on OC. They wouldn't have been able to talk about it on New York. Like everybody goes on Jeff Lewis and then has an argument about what he said. I also feel like Bryn, you can't have it both ways. You can't make your sexuality your personality and then be upset when people comment on it. Coming for Jeff Lewis like that, girl, that was gross. But did you hear what Jeff Lewis said about her? Nothing, because she's not relevant. Now that's the read. That's the read. When they've gotten quiet to their core. He is going to flip houses at some point. His show's coming back, but he is now, I guess, like de facto Andy Cohen, since Andy can't ask the snarkiest questions that he'd like to. So now you've got this second sissy in command where they can go on his show and be messy. And I mean, I get it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just wish they would come on my show and be messy too. A little too messy, apparently, when Heavenly was on my show and asking about Simone's overbite, Simone calling production and saying, why is she working with somebody mean that's derogatory towards me? And it's like, look, Simone, you have an underbite, a pronounced underbite. You have a Mercedes. You have income property. I just wanted to know why you didn't fix the underbite, but that's just me. But maybe I'm too much. I can get it. Maybe I'm too harsh. I do love to ask a disrespectful question. Like Dr. Jackie, are you that thin just because you never learned how to cook? Is that really it? Is it not that you have a strict diet and you're just such a driven woman? It's that you have no talent in the kitchen and you can't even boil water. I think that's what it is. I think that you can deliver a baby and do a surgery, but all your food tastes like feces. That's why you're so thin. It's a tough job. Disrespectful question is my favorite. I love a disrespectful question. When is Taco Tuesdays coming back? Whenever she asks. I like her. Like, we're cool. Also, there's this thing where like people were trying to act like, Carlos is, anti-Alex and Alice is anti-Carlos. Now, Carlos did try to steal the allegedly thing from me, which was trifling, but we know Carlos steals, so don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. Disrespectful questions. Let's see, a disrespectful question for, I guess, Sanya and Marlo. Why did you think you were interesting enough to carry a show? Why did you waste your time and energy throwing this shit against the wall for 6 episodes that you knew nobody cared about? But why couldn't you hear the collective groan from the audience before you even set foot in studio to film? Why did you think we would believe an adroit liar had an actual friend? I want to know. I want to know. You don't think Carlos King is anti-me? I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Has Carlos King ever said anything bad about me? Not that I have heard. Not that I've heard. Oh, I'm sure he said some shit. I'm sure he said some shit. Well, he did say there's somebody that's just live streaming my face. And it's like, no, I just decided to use a title pic of you on the Allegedly show because I talk shit about you consistently. You're always coming up, but you're just, top billing, Carlos. You're top billing. You're a hot topic. And since you wanted to use Allegedly, I figure I'll use your face. Sounds fair, doesn't it? You tried me, and I'm going to make money off you. Forever. So, do I feel Carlos is anti me? I mean, I hope he wouldn't care. Honest to God, I hope he wouldn't care that much. Like dead ass, like for real, for real. Like it's all shade and a kiki. I really hope. I've seen some people that are anti me, and I'm like, oh, girl, that's sad. That's sad. After all these years, you still bear a grudge against me. It's sad after all these years, you still trying to block and still trying to hate when all I did was the same thing you did. Girl, boom. But yeah, there are some people that are truly anti me. No, yeah, I don't think Taco Tuesdays is coming back. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's also she's busy with the show. So I can't tell you what's going on. I can tell you that people on the show complained about how nasty I was because I am not nice to them. I say a lot of things about them, but also Heavenly says things too. So people complained and it became an issue. It like Heavenly does, it's free press and promomo. Thank you. It is full free press and promomo. I get people to watch your show. Like, I've never met Carlos. He's never met me. Like, we ain't never lived together. We ain't never worked together. So ain't no reason for us to have any kind of energy. I just feel I think Toya and Quad would make an interesting podcast pair. I met Toya, and Toya is lovely. Toya's waist is this little tiny little waist, tiny little waist. But yeah, her and Eugene were really sweet. I enjoyed them. They were very friendly, very welcoming. And they enjoyed the show and they got that it was just jokes. And I think most people that watch get that it's just jokes. Like, this is all for entertainment. I do think that I continuously take the piss out of everyone. And so when you're always just consistently like, that's what I feel is my job and what I do best. I can also see people saying like, oh, I enjoy that, but I'm never going on that show or I'm not working with that person. What would that sound like? Because they also like people were like, oh, how are you going to do a show with Heavenly when like you roast her? And it's like, well, you saw I can do a show and be respectful. And I don't think that being respectful is being fake. Like the show is called a roast for a reason. It's a specific type of comedy. Hey, Miss Doc Prod. So I don't feel I have to be, I don't feel I have to be harsh all the time. I enjoy being harsh. I enjoy disrespectful questions, but there's a time and place for everything. Like Chris was giving me so much advice at BravoCon. Don't say that. Don't say that. They're going to ask us to leave if you say that. I want to stay through the entire event. And if you say that, we're not going to be able to do that. So he kept censoring me and making sure that I would ask the right questions and getting me to pull back enough, but still be shady enough to make page 6. Also, I want to show y'all something just to look like I want to know, am I doing too much here? If I'm doing too much, feel free to tell me. I do too much sometimes, most times. Oh, all right, here we go. Now, Gretchen is coming back to Housewives of OC, but the tagline says she's back and she's ready to make fetch happen. Fetch happen? Last time I checked, who used fetch happen on Bravo? Oh, me. If y'all don't give me a damn show, I know you watching. I know you're watching. Look, here's my phone number. No, I'm kidding. But you get in the DMs. My email is mralexrodgers@gmail.com. Just send the show proposal. I'm cheap. I'm cheap. But let's just get this show on the road because you're using me every 5 minutes. It's about to be Bravo by Rodgers. It's not a bad thing because it's not her. Wait, hold on. Gretchen didn't write that. That was somebody that worked at Bravo. Whoever runs their social media looked to me for inspiration. But I'm like, what? I said fetch happen. Fetch happen. Fetch happen. I just thought that was an interesting little coinky dink. Girl, they're taking notes. They are taking notes. Just hire me for a show. Just cheating me. I could do an after show. I could do a pre-show. There's a myriad of places where I feel I'd be a good fit. But I guess we covered everything with Nene's podcast, Marlo's canceled podcast. And I did listen to Humble Brag. Cynthia's got a man. I stopped caring. Besides Housewives of Potomac and Atlanta, which franchise is worth starting? What a great question. Okay, if you're looking for Hollywood drama, good family drama, Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. The first few seasons are delightfully unhinged with the Richard sisters drama. The Richard sisters drama is always good. Beverly Hills is great. If you want something a little more, and that's also like older school housewives, like you're going back 14 seasons. So it's a different world, a different time. I would also say if you wanted something more current, more the world today, I would say start Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is a wild ride with wild women. I would say those would be my two. It's hard for me to get into the housewives that are black free. I look at it as peeping into a different world, a world that I'm not a part of, where it's like, okay, let's see how these people live. Let's see what this is like. So I get it. I'm like I consider myself a Jane Goodall walking through pink toes in the mist. In this 40th week of January, girl, I did something. I did a live or a short 5 weeks ago talk about January is 6 weeks long. And yep, it really is, because I wish I could share the damn calendar. But because we had January in Wednesday, or the month started on a Wednesday, we have had like 6 weeks of January. Really, it feels like it because Groundhog's Day is Sunday. So it is January until Saturday, and it is Wednesday. Oh my God. I was able to lose weight this month because we had a 2-month month. Now, what's irritating is February gonna piss you off because you pay rent and then you turn around and you paying rent again. February, they need to do something to work out the rent because it's like, oh, you paying 2 rents for 1 month. Now you get your money's worth on rent in January. You pay your rent in January, you got rent for half the year. February are gonna be faster than this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Girl, we haven't said faster than this in a minute. And January's first 3 days spelled WTF. Show do. Show do. My God. Faster than this. Yeah, but yeah, that rent gonna go faster than this too. I tell you what, and I tell you who. What other Yeah, I wouldn't start Jersey. I wouldn't start New York, and I definitely wouldn't start this New York that they already recasting. I don't know how they're gonna put up a casting notice before the reunion. Just we don't believe in these heifers anymore. Watch at your own risk. All right, well, I'm gonna see y'all soon. What's up?